A quick one. Good evening to you. It is 5 p.m. right now in the United Kingdom. My name hasn't changed, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I want to welcome you on my platform, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye platform. It is a public platform, so also everyone is invited as long as you are interested in educating yourself from time to time on what I am bringing out. Everyone is invited. There is no exception to my platform. You are all invited. Please like and share. And let your family member knows about this. Let your family member know that Tokunbo Olagbaye is out there assisting everyone out there in the world with regards to coming into UK, staying in the United Kingdom on any kind of visa level. That is the purpose of my platform, to give advice at the appropriate time and to let you know what you need to be aware of in terms of putting the application in place. Today's dates, I am going to talk about students in the United Kingdom, international students. That is what I'm looking at closely today. I haven't got that much time to spare, unfortunately. So my maximum staying here will be possibly 30 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not staying longer on the platform because I am leaving office, as soon as possible. My mind is out there. So 5:30, I want to get out as quickly as I can. So ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for seeing my real light and coming on board straight away. Many people are saying that they are unable to get my notification. What you have to do is to go back there to the platform, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye, and go and re-like it. Go and press the click button again, and then press the ring button for notification, so that you will know so that you will know when and when to join me when I'm on platform. So it is okay for everyone to know, but there are certain set of people in the society or in the community that actually need this most, but then you never can tell who are those people that I'm referring to. The only way to assist is to like and share it on your platform, so that when they come back, they'll pick it up. So please like and share and let your friends pick it up. International student on my mind. International student. I am getting worried about the international student coming to United Kingdom to study. Parents have spent so much money to get you into UK to come and educate yourself and get a good English education. But at the end of the day, it appears that you do not take a proper advice at onset before you run out of status, and as a result of that, it basically means that you'll be roaming about, parabolating on the streets of London, United Kingdom, and at the end of the day, if the border agency picked you up on the streets, then you'll be thrown out of the country, which means that you have lost so much money, you have wasted your parents' money, you have wasted the family money. So in order for that not to happen, I brought to your attention today the general rules on switching from tier 4 to tier 2, the general rules. And I would like to advise you that you should take consultation before the end of your visa in the UK. So once you are once you have only 3 months to go or 4 months to go to finish your visa, I think you should be taking advice and ask for options available to you as a PBS student. Now, we call you PBS because it is all on point based. Everything is calculated on points. If you have the English or you have the education requirement, is point. If you made the salary, is point. If you have the maintenance, is on point. And your age, if it's on point, But on a student one, your student point-based system is based on your certificate and it's based on your CAS letter and the maintenance with the school fees. That is what your point base is based on as a student. Now, if you're on a student visa, I know a lot of people are in classroom now. They just told me that they are in classroom. I should keep the video for them. The video is already in the public domain, so you will have access to the video as soon as I run it to the end. If you're on a point-based system on a tier 4 point as an international student, you are not in the same category as a UK student that hold British passport. You are not in the same category. A UK student that hold British passport can be in the same classroom as you, but believe me, they are not PBS. They are just a student because they are UK citizen, so they are not PBS. As soon as they graduated and look for a job with their CV, they will get job. They will find job. They are not going to be tested on anything other than their skills and the ability to provide to the company the knowledge and understanding of what the company is doing to join the company, and they will be given a job. So their situation is completely different from that of those who are coming from overseas to study in the United Kingdom on PBS. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that before the end of your leave as a student in the UK, seek advice so that you will know all the options available for you. Today, we have something called Tier 2, which is on a sponsorship for those who want to work in the UK at the end of their graduation, ceremony. At the end of your graduation ceremony, you want to work in the United Kingdom. To work in the United Kingdom, you have to apply through an employer that has a sponsorship license. You must apply through an employer that has a sponsorship license. There is no way on this planet you can just walk in on a Tier 4 student into a company that hasn't got sponsorship license. You are going to run out of status. Now, the government has done it in a way that it makes it so juicy and encouraging for international students to remain in the UK at the end of their student status. How do I mean? There are various options available for you to venture in, as to what to do in terms of which of them will be applicable in your situation for you to remain in the United Kingdom. But today, there are some that are academically upright, academically tuned, academically ready, that they want to go into employment as soon as they finish their student status. What you will need to do, because those kind of people are not ready to go into relationship, they're not ready to marry, they're not ready to have child, they're not ready to do anything other than to work until they get to the stage that they are tired. So those kind of people, the government is saying that you're not under pressure. You're not under pressure. The minimum salary government is saying you have to earn is 20,800. Okay, I'll look at it. I'll look at it. So the employer that you want to approach must have a sponsorship license. If an employer doesn't have a sponsor license, it's not going to work for you. So you need to bear that in mind. How do you know? You need to go onto the Home Office website. When you are searching for a particular skill of job, company that you want to work with, the most important thing is to go onto the Home Office website and search whether they are licensed and what category are they. Once you are able to find out that they have license, they are sponsors, they are a sponsor of international student that want to work in the company, the next thing is that you make an application for that particular vacancy that they have advertised. If you make application for that particular vacancy, the minimum salary they must offer you to get that job and to be able to continue to renew your visa is 20,800. There is no way on this planet you can get anything less than that, and you will want to continue on it and want to transfer to Tier 2 General. The application will not succeed. So the minimum wage will be considered, especially on those who are making first application. On the first application, the minimum wage is 20,800. So if you're just coming fresh as a student, international student in the UK, you have completed your graduation and you're applying for a job, what you would think first is the minimum code salary, 20,800, because you are a new entrant. So that's what you need. You will not be considered as a new entrant if you are applying for extension. You are not a new entrant. You will not be considered. But a new entrant will be somebody who's coming from a student Tier 4 PBS and coming in straight away. Another good part of it, another goodie of it is that you do not need to go through the labor test. There is something we call resident labor test, market test, that the employer will need to advertise it in the country and paste it out there to show that they have advertised that job before you can apply successfully. As a student, you don't need to, you don't need to show that skill at all. The minimum wage is 20,800. As a student in the UK, there is no need for you to go through the resident labor market test. There is no need for that. The most important one is that you are exempted from that advertising. So your sponsor is exempted from that advertising requirement on the resident labor market. Once you have done that and you qualify under that, the next thing you have to look at is how to prove that you have your English language skills. Of course, if you are a degree holder, you have a BA, you have LLB, you have BSc, you know, a PhD or master's degree, you are automatically exempted. So that is another point. So that's the reason why it's called PBS. You are automatically exempted. Contact me when you finish, Mrs. I don't want to mention your name, but contact me once you finish. Once I finish, please. Resident labor market test. You understand? Once that is out of the way, the next thing is English test hurdle. English test hurdle will be out of the way as well, because of course a PBS has to be a graduate, has to be a student. So you would rather have either a first degree or a master's degree or a PhD. So of course you'll be exempted. You'll be exempted easily. The next one you have to show is maintenance fee. After you have satisfied the hurdles of the minimum salary, you have satisfied the sponsorship license, you have satisfied the English test, you have satisfied the resident labor market test. The next thing is maintenance. Maintenance. You see, maintenance in your personal savings account has to be there for a consecutive 90 days. And that is £945. You have to have a sum of £945. You have to have, you know, £945 head for a consecutive 90 days period, ending no more than 31 days before the date of your application. You must have held that money in an account with an organization that is acceptable to the Home Office. Of course, Halifax, of course, Santander, of course, Lloyds TSB, of course, Barclays, HSBC, you know, NatWest. All those banks are acceptable. They are high street bank. They are first class. So you need to have money in the account with one of them. It's either of them consecutively for that 90 days, because you'll be coming on a tier 2. You're leaving tier 4, you are coming on tier 2. So you can see the hurdles of satisfying that point one by one is quite strenuous. It's quite difficult. It's quite complex. And you must meet all those requirements before you can successfully change to tier 2. The most important thing is that your employer must have a sponsorship license. If your employer has a sponsorship license, the rest is easy to follow on. But then that is providing that you have wakened yourself up earlier before the due date of your visa. If you have woken up on time before the due date of your visa, you will definitely be able to meet the requirement once employer has a sponsorship license. That wouldn't be a problem after you have satisfied that. To know that the employer has a sponsored license, you got to check through the websites of the Home Office and look at the category. Because if you don't check and by word of mouth, he or she told you that he has it, then you are in trouble and he hasn't got it. And many of them are being revoked. So you need to check. Don't just go into word of mouth, because they will have kept you there and make sure you run out of visa and you're stuck with them. And once you're run out of visa and you're staying in the UK is useless. The whole idea of coming to UK on the student visa, PBS, paid so much money is wasted. It will be a waste of time. So the best way forward is that before you venture into it, or you put yourself into it, I will advise that you check through the Home Office website and ensure that, you know, that sponsor has that license that he or she claimed to have had. You need to check, because if you don't check, then the result will be trivial. And what would the result be? You will become an overstayer with nothing to wait for in the UK, and with nothing to show for all the years you have spent in the UK on a student status. It will be a waste of time. So you must check and make sure that the proposed employer has that two sponsor license. You know, it's very, very important. Very, very important. So if you look at it, there are hurdles that you have to climb to meet all the criteria. The most important thing is that you must have a sponsorship license. So some two sponsors can choose to certify on the certificate of sponsorship. Some can even vouch for you that they will pay your maintenance fee. Oh yes. Under the certificate or sponsorship license, yeah, some employer can put it there that they will cover your £945 because they will have put their company account, bank account down to the Secretary of State to certify that requirement for you. You're lucky. You're very, very lucky. You know, you're very, very lucky. So in a way, that is for those who are coming on tier 2 in labor market. That is for them. Now, there are so many other options that a student can use to regularize their status in the United Kingdom. But I haven't got time to go through it one by one. But the most important thing is that on the PBS, if you are moving from PBS to PBS, it basically means that whoever is taking you on those PBS must have a license. Unless you are coming off completely from PBS into another category, then that is when you don't have to satisfy the area. You know, that is why you don't have to satisfy the area of having that kind of sponsorship license. But apart from that, I would suggest that you make sure before the end of your visa, try as much as possible, because I am very worried about the students, international students in the UK. They have been, how do I use this? They have been deceived by many people. And as a result of that, they are out of visa status because they haven't got a local knowledge in the United Kingdom, and they failed to take advice on time. Now, ignorance of law is not an excuse. If you think you are well educated to the standard of having a first degree, then you cannot excuse yourself from not taking a legal advice when it's necessary in a foreign country that is you are not acquainted with. You know, in a foreign country that you are not acquainted with, you're supposed to take advice from legal practitioner practicing that subject matter that you are concerned on. Take advice, and you must take advice, even if it means that you're taking advice a month or two after you have come into the country. It shows you are clever and you are intelligent. So you have given yourself enough space to know what to do in advance and to prepare yourself in case of eventuality. So it is always, 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 always important. In advance, you take advice so that you can distinguish yourself from that problem headache that most students, international students, faces at the end of their program. And if you want to carry on as a student, you have to discuss that with your university student department and look at the subject matters available for you. For example, it will not make sense for somebody who has completed a master's degree to now wanted to go back to do a first degree again. It's not possible. You can't buy time in that respect. So there is no way you can move from a master's or a PhD saying that you want to come and study something that is not relevant. So if you finish your first degree, the next hurdle you will be thinking of is a master's degree, either MSc, LLM, or MBA. In fact, after MSc or after LLM, you can do MBA. But majority of those people who are able to do MBA are those who are in a research methodology background, marketing, or accountants. Those who are doing accountancy career, they can do MBA. Now, a person who have a first degree in law and has a master's in law, LLM, will not fit into MBA unless he or she is changing career completely, because Home Office will query you. Home Office will be curious about you doing MBA from a law degree, from a legal background, because they will expect you that if you don't go into legal practice, what you will be coming to do is PhD, so that you become a lecturer in law. So Home Office is not stupid, they are not daft. They are as well following the academic career progression. They are following it on smoothly. So my advice is that take advice at onset. Please like and share this video for the purpose of all those who are out there in the United Kingdom, students generally that want to come to UK or that are already in the United Kingdom. This video is for you. I am worried about students in the UK, the way they run out of visa and they are roaming about with nothing to do after all those thousands of pounds being paid every year. Common sense must prevail. Ignorance of law is not an excuse in any ramifications. So you will be expected to take advice at onset before you run out of status. And that's the only way forward. If you don't take advice before you run out of status, I'm afraid you're going to blame yourself in the end. So there isn't much to talk to you about other than to remind you of the Tier 2 employment status that you must always remember. You must always remember that it is crucial, it is important that you take advice at onset. Tier 2 skilled, believe me or not, it's so important that the employer has a sponsor license. If an employer hasn't got a sponsorship license, I actually do not know how you want to manage to do it. I actually do not know how you want to cope, how you want to go about it. And that's the reason why I come on board today. Sponsorship license is important. Minimum wage 2. Exemptions on labor market 3. English language 4. Maintenance money in the account 5. So you can see, yeah, there are 5 hurdles that you have to climb, you have to go through when it comes to issue of putting in an application on a Tier 2 for employer to get your visa from the Secretary of State for the Home Department in the United Kingdom. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, there is no time for me to hang around, like I said. So I've got to go now. And then if any of you need my advice, my office is on 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Phone office, book appointment. It is better to pay ordinary £50 consultation than to mess up the whole journey that you have paid thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds for when you go to someone that doesn't know what they are doing and they negligently, advise you. They carelessly advise you rather, and it will become negligence in law. It will become professional negligence when you get wrong advice. But would you be able to fight that battle when they have messed you up? I doubt it. I don't think so. So I want to advise you that if you're out there, telephone my office 0208 309 8808. Take advice at onset from the beginning so that you know what to do and you know what you are heading for. Apart from that, I cannot love all of you less on this platform. I love you more. Take care and God bless you. Yeah, Google it. Thank you, beloved Temitope Akinola. Google it and make sure that they have that license, because if they don't have it, they will mess you up. Please, it's very important. But apart from that, just take care of yourself until next time when I have time to come on board. I am a very busy person, so 2019 is not a joke anymore. I have put myself to the public for you to know me, so you know who I am now. So there is no need for me to come to Facebook every second, every minute until I have something else to say. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I selling? I am selling my skill as a lawyer. Until next time I see you, my office number is 0208 309 8808. I love you guys. Thanks for your support at all times. Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. Bye for now.